My name is Dijini. I was born in Kenya. I'm a comedian here in Zimbabwe. I've been doing comedy for a little bit. I'm passionate about it, and I love to see where this journey keeps going. So I was inspired to become a comedian really by other comedians I loved, but more so by my friends. I've always had funny friends and family, and we got into a debate one time about whether or not I could do it. They didn't think I could do it. I said I could, so we ended up signing up for an open mic. One of my friends actually called and pretended to be my agent until we found out nobody cares at an open mic. You don't need an agent. You just need to show up. So we went to the open mic, and that's how I got my start, just trying to prove to my friends that I could do it, and I loved it. And I was really inspired by it, because we used to watch a lot of stand-up comedy together, so our favorite comedians then inspired me to start doing stand-up comedy as well.
Which kind of examples of those who inspired you?
Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, like a lot of just great comedians. I guess can't say it anymore, but Bill Cosby. He was one of the greats as well. Yeah, a lot of comedians. We just watched a lot of comedy together. There's a lot of like parts in our life where we would just live to the jokes. You know what I mean? We'd memorize the jokes, we memorize all the ways they said it. We just loved comedy as a crew. I think my style is mostly talking about things I've experienced and things I've seen and what makes me laugh as a person. And I noticed I do laugh a lot when I'm on stage as well, when I'm telling my jokes, because it's what I find funny. So that's kind of like my style. It's more myself. It's not a character. I even just go by my middle name, Dijuni, on stage. So it's just what Dijuni finds funny and what Dijuni's experienced. And that's all there is to my style, really. And as I get to evolve as a person, I guess my style evolves with that. Whatever I'm living through at the time, that's what comes out to the stage. So you can't run away from the environment you're in when you're doing stand-up comedy. When you're talking to people, you have to talk to them in the context you're in. And I think with myself, I talk about what I see in the local environment and my perspective, because I was born in Kenya and I've traveled a little bit. So I talk about what I've seen and how it compares and contrasts to what I'm experiencing. And I think that's what everybody does. You know, you put yourself in the situation you are and you see how you relate to the people around you and how you relate to the situation around you. And that's just how the comedy translates. So you gotta push the boundaries with comedy, but I'm not too worried about that here, because if people come out to the shows and I say something which they're not too impressed with and they want to go online and cancel me, by the time they get home, all the Zesta cables have been stolen and it's too late for them to cancel me. Can't cancel me without Zesta. So it's alright, we make it work. I think that's an interesting question. I think everybody's open to comedy, even if they don't know it, because people laugh every day, or people want to laugh every day. People want to have a good time, and that's what comedy is. Comedy is laughter. Comedy is joy. It's enjoyment. I think where it becomes tricky now is getting to organize people to say, hey, come here and laugh. Come here to the show. We're having a show on this day. Come here and laugh. I think that's where now people need to kind of get used to the idea of it, but some people have come to the shows and it's their first time coming to a show and they have a great time, so that's how I know people are open to it. It's just getting to the show and knowing that, okay, this is something that's organized. People are organizing laughter. I think that's the weird part, because you never organize laughter during your day, it just happens. But I think people are very open to it, they just don't know about it yet. There's the side where you need people who support the comedy and who sponsor the comedy and who take care of that side of it, but you also have the side which is on us to say, we got to engage our audience, we got to make sure people are having a good time with the art we're creating, otherwise it's not going to go anywhere. So yeah, you do need the Medici family side of it, but then you also need us as artists to say, okay, do the audience want to engage with us? Are they interested in what we've got to say? So we got to be on top of our game. We got to do what we do, and then that's when it's going to grow. Without us doing what we do, without us bringing our best, it's not going to go anywhere. We got to be the ones who take it upon ourselves to say, we're going to do this. We're going to be the ones who bring the storm.
So sponsors are not necessary.
No, you need both sides. You need both.
Or you need both.
Yeah, you got to have great art, and you got to have people who enable that art.
Right.
So it's not somebody doing it on their own. You got to have both sides to it. You got to have the great painter, but you also have to have the Medici family. It goes both ways. I think one thing I've really enjoyed about comedy is how a lot of the comedians come together and they just support each other. Like when I started out, I didn't know where to even begin here in Zim, because I started comedy outside of Zim, but then when I came here, they showed me the scene, they showed me like where they were doing and what was working for them, and so I really like that, the collaborative spirit a lot of comedians have out here. I'm enjoying myself with it. I'm DJuni. You can find me on all social medias at DJuni the Man. That's DJUNI the Man. On all social medias, we got a show coming up on the 22nd of May. It's going to be at La Vida. It's the Really Live show. We're bringing a comedy experience to you. We got some heavy hitters. We got an award-winning comedian who's going to be there. So see you guys there. Come check it out.